Hello, my dear Aries. This is your love and spirituality reading for the mid-month of June 2018 with me, Queen of Cups Tarot. I read for the signs in order of most liked video, so don't forget to hit the thumbs up button for your sign. And thank you all for liking, watching, commenting, and subscribing to my channel. I have put astrological information for the month of June in a video of its own that you can check out in my playlist Q&A. You can also find it at my webpage www.queenofcupstarot.se. The reading can go both ways. The message is for the people who watch it, so if you cross-watch for another sign and recognize yourself as the main person in the reading, just trust your own intuition and you will get the message you need. For this reading, I used Osho Zen Tarot by Deva Padma. I have been using it since 1995, and many of you have asked how I have learned to read tarot in the way I do. This deck has been my main source of inspiration, together with Crowley's Tot Tarot. It is working with the wisdom of Zen and can be used together with cards with Zen stories to get an even deeper knowledge of your situation. I will make a shorter 5-card spread to make it more digestible for you, and now I will start shuffling your cards. So my dear Aries, see what's going on with you. When I open the deck, I see politics and 7 of Pentacles. That's Patience card, and this is in the reversed. So the 7 of Politics is when we are not truly our authentic self. We are not telling people that we love them. Even if we do that, we tell people that, no, I didn't get hurt, even if we got hurt. We are saying that, no, that's perfectly all right. You can take it, even though we don't want them to take it. So neither of these faces are the right face. You might feel like you're holding up a mask to be pleasant and, nice and avoid difficult circumstances, and you believe that maybe this is your right face. Neither of them are your right face. Your right face is your soul, and your soul is beautiful, but self-loathing or distrust in oneself can give you a very bad self-esteem, so you're not courageous enough to be yourself and express yourself truthfully. I love you. You hurt me. I don't want to do that. I don't want you to do that. Okay. Authenticity. And here with the patience card, I think you have lost patience with something. You have done everything to be nice and to hold yourself back and to keep diplomacy in the situation, and still no reward. So what's up with that? 7 patience, it can be when we have tried something hard for a very long time. This lady on the picture is pregnant, and it takes some time, and maybe you are getting like anxious. Is this baby going to come anytime soon? So you might be waiting for something, and the patience is up. Okay, so I call the divine with love and light, and here we have consciousness with patience. So you need to accept the situation what is. You also need to accept whatever rises inside of you. Ace of Swords, blood, sweat, and tears, victory at last. You have something you need to say or need to do. It's like a mission here, and it's not going to have full effect immediately. You might tell the truth to a person 10,000 times and they are still not going to listen. But it's like with children, we might need to tell them to put away the dishes 10,000 times before the penny fall drops, and I need to take away my dishes, and they will do it on their own eventually. And I'm thinking here, you are called to be some kind of teacher and to be a good example. So you need to show authenticity. You need to tell people what you really mean, and then you need to have patience with them, that they won't understand the first 10,000 times you tell them something. Okay. So I call the 4 archangels in the 4 corners of the world, and here we see 10 rebirth with the patience. So this is kind of what happens when you lose patience, Aries. First you try to endure and you act like, well, you just tolerate, even if you don't. And then you just, throw out the handle. You become angry. Okay, so first you are very patient to the brink of being dull. Okay, you are trying to master yourself, so you don't want to be angry, so you try to be patient, okay, and you try to maybe keep your teeth in front of your tongue, avoiding to say something. But neither of these things work, okay? Neither being this dull entity trying to have patience, and neither being this raging entity that's blowing up some steam, okay? What's going to solve is to be naturally you all the time. That's irritating me. No, that's fine. I like that. I don't like that. And don't expect that people will dance after your pipe, even if you talk the truth. Just you dance after your pipe, okay? So if you know that you don't like that kind of behavior, you put like real boundaries towards that behavior, so they can't do that to you ever again if that is how you feel, if it makes you blow off the handles. They can be very troublesome when we are with kids, okay? Our own kids, we need to have patience with them, even though they can act very difficult, okay? So it's just when they are turning 18, then you can treat them like adults, okay? But when they are small, you can't put boundaries in the same way that you would do to an adult person. You can't say, okay, I can't live with you anymore. You need to live in the forest from now on because I can't tolerate this and this is my boundary. It's another thing when it comes to children. People that our parents needs to kind of be saints, but not that much of a saint that you spoil your beloved ones. Don't curl them. They would need to know also resistance. I'm talking here mainly about adult persons, that you need to have the same patience with them that you have with children, but you also need to talk the truth with them as you do with children. You need to tell them. With adult people, we are kind of keeping our mouth shut and we don't say the things that we would say to them if they were our children. So be more truthful. And if you are more yourself, you don't have to, have artificial patience. So, I call the 6 elements, earth, wind, fire, water, spirit, and ether, to join us here today and to give us a clear view reading for my dear Aries viewers. So, I want my dear Aries to have love in their lives and to find themselves in loving relationship. Letting go, and this is in the reverse. So, whenever you react like with the 10 of Swords thing, you will probably be burning a lot of bridges. And this 8 of Cups is like a person that lets go of situation but then wants them back. So it's better if you can be more yourself, blow up steam and be angry in more like all the time, instead of doing it once a week and then chopping people's heads, because you will want them back later on. So try to be more normal and natural every day. Try to the normal you I'm talking about. So if your normal self is to be to saying things that other might feel is aggressive or pushy or something, that's you, okay? So they need to love you for who you are, and it's better if you are always who you are instead of being someone that they like and then becoming a demon once a week, okay? So don't burn bridges. Be more yourself. If you burn bridges, you're going to regret it and you want to come back. It's like recycling of an old situation. Okay, I also want you, Aries, postponement. Also, it's kind of the same thing. Postponement is when we say, okay, I will live another day. I will call them another day. You long for them. You shouldn't call them another day. You should call them today, okay? Put some action into it. It's like you are trying to sit on yourself and make you not do the things that you really want to do. You don't have to, become friends with them. You just need to, maybe you want to just say hello and check out how they are doing. You don't have to get back together with them again. Neither of this is humiliating. Neither of this is going to, change your original viewpoint on what was wrong with that one relationship. But don't ghost people if you really don't, if you really love them, okay? If you really want them in your life, even if they are difficult, keep in touch in some way, and have patience with them, okay? Like children, like they were children. I also want you to have creative success and to be able to walk on your highest path towards your highest destiny. So, okay, my dear Aries, a lot of jumpers there. Jumping cards, not sweatshirts. Okay, so I'll just tune in for a few seconds. Okay, so my dear Aries, this is your reading. I will do a 5-card spread for you. The first card here, this is you or your situation. This is you in the past. This is you in the future. This is your situation, your circumstance. People or entities around you might also be the divine coming in with a message here for you. And this is the future of the same thing, circumstance, situation, people. And here we have you. So we have change here. Change is a very profound card. In the Crowley's Tarot, it says, if it doesn't happen, a miracle now, something is wrong. So suspect miracles. But this is when we kind of we roll the dice, and then the universe will come back with something for us. So we need to always ask for what we really want, not something that we think in our ego that we want. For example, I want justice. I never want to see them again, when really you just want to be loved, because then you will get justice and you will never see them again. And that will make you unhappy, because that's not really what you want. So changes here. 10 is the wheel of fortune. It can be karma, like what you will reap the thing you have sown. As you make your bed, you will lie in it. Okay, so how you roll your dice is what's going to come back to you. But it's a universal law, so it's no one standing on the other side and saying, she doesn't deserve more than this, so this is what we'll send back to them, slap in the face. It's just a law. It just will happen in the way you created it. If you create it like this, it will come back like this. It's like natural feedback. So this is a great way to learn to ask for the things we really want, instead of ask for something we don't want. Because it's going to come to us, neither we like it or not. Another interpretation to this card is that it is divine intervention. Things will happen by divine intervention. You can see a lot of synchronicity in your life, and you know that there's divine intervention in your life, miracles about to happen. When we are in this kind of situation, we need to put ourselves center, kind of go with the roll with the dice. Don't resist the situation. You won't be able to control it. And whatever is coming will be better for you. Either it will come back with something you didn't want, and you will learn to ask for better things in the future, or it's a change of course, of direction from the divine, and just go with it, because in other case you will have like a tower event later on, and it's better to roll with it now instead of resisting it and then being forced to go with it later on. So this is in the past, and here we have courage. So courage is the strength card. It's connected to Leo, bravery, to being royal, to be the bigger person, to show a good example. And we can see the flower here with this great aura growing in a kind of hostile environment for flowers. It's not much soil here, it's not much light here, so it's shining its own inner light. So it seems like, Aries, you need to be a light in a dark room and be a good example. And it's like the divine is calling in their troops, and their troops is happening to be you. So it's a lot going to be asked of you here. And here we have success, and it's in reversed. So this is also Leo. It's Jupiter in Leo. So it's kind of, taking this mission, and wearing the sword high, and trusting yourself, believing in yourself, and being the bigger person, showing the good example, being the best version of yourself, and being this teacher, and having this patience with people, and telling the same thing 10,000 times even if they don't listen. And the Six of Wands in the reverse is kind of saying that you don't believe that you can do it, or you don't believe that this is how important you are, or you don't understand how much effect you have on other people, that when you show people an example, they listen. Even if they bark at everything you say, they still listen. You still have an impact. So start to trust yourself, axe the mission that you have gotten. Stop procrastinating, be the bigger person, do whatever thing it is that you're asked by the divine to do here. Okay, so in the past we have turning in. So turning in is when we kind of don't take an offer from a situation because we know that it's tainted, or we don't want it. We have seen this before. We don't want to go down that road again. Here, this girl is showing a good example of how we can deal with these situations, because we can feel very, very like having a hard time to make a decision here. We long for this thing that is presented for us, but yet it come with some kind of problem, so we don't want it. Maybe the situation is right, but not the person. Maybe the person is right, but not the situation. Maybe you love the person, but you know that it's not going to work out. Maybe the job you have been offered is kind of the job you want, but it's not the right salary. It can be a lot of different things. And so what you need to do in these kind of situations is to stay with the issue. Stay with the situation and digest and let things come to you, insights, voices, inspirations, knowledge, and just journal it. So here this person, she's staying with her own feelings. She's letting her mind flow freely here, and she sees the demons of the past and the projections, and she's not being touched by it. She's not being anxious. If I don't take this job, maybe nothing else is going to be presented to me, and I will miss this opportunity, even if they gave me a crappy salary. So she is trusting herself. She's trusting her own instincts. If she wanted to say no, she said no. And now she's just dealing with the aftermath of saying no. It might be that you are dealing with a person that's very hard to get, or playing hard to get, or not taking your offer because they feel that it will have a bad consequence. You can't force people to engage with you. You can ask them to engage with you. Success is messages as well. So you might need to be brave enough to send message to someone that has kind of, already shown you that they didn't honor you, or didn't want you, or you were not the highest dream for them, or you were not the best candidate, or whatever it can have been. Okay. And this is the future, and here we have the burden. So it's not a 6 in reverse, and this is both the masculine sixes, fire and air. Some of you might be dealing with an air sign person, and neither of you seems to want to be the hero in this situation. Both of you are acting more like siblings than spiritual rainbow warriors. Okay, you're acting a little bit like you are competing instead of loving. You're acting a little bit like the other person is your enemy instead of your friend. So we can easily end up in this kind of situation where we kind of grow backwards and become children again. But what's asked of you in this situation is to be the bigger person and show a way out. Don't just because you are hanging around with children, you don't have to become a child. Okay, you can be a grown-up, taking grown responsibility, being mature. The divine sees a way out for you. Miracles can happen. These sixes are connected to the lovers, so it seems that there's a great connection and probably karma with two people. It seems like Aries have done all they can, while the other entity might have been more reserved. But this is probably your personality. One is more reserved as a personality, and the other Aries seems to be more outgoing, but now you don't want to be outgoing because they are reserved. And maybe that's fine. But the situation is kind of locked, so I understand it's frustration on you. But the best advice I can give you is follow your own intuition. If you don't want to speak, don't speak to them. If you still feel the connection to the situation, let the connection be there. Don't try to erase it. It's there by divine intervention. You probably have a karma tie together, so you can't really separate yourself from it. Accept the situation as it is. Accept that it's impossible right now. Probably you're going to get a chance soon to get some closure or to sort out the situation or have another go on it, because you have both the change card and you had the 8 of Cups in reversed. So even though you are in a stubbornly position right now, I think that there's still enough juice in this situation or relationship to revive it later on. But it might not be exactly the time right now, because if you would get together right now, it will be this siblings rivalry that will lead to no good. No one is taking the role as being the bigger person here. And it's hinted that it's only you that have the capacity, that the other person hasn't the capacity, and that you need to be a parent in this situation and show this other entity a better way to do things. And if you don't do it, they will never learn. So that's kind of what I see, but you decide what you want to do. Okay. Oh, I took the wrong card. Maybe I should have read that card to you, but I'm stubborn too, so I will do as I have decided. Okay, and here we have the change card. The symbol in this card is an enormous wheel representing time, fate, karma. Galaxies spin around this constantly moving circle, and the 12 signs of the zodiac appear on its circumference. Just inside the circumference are the 8 triagrams of the I Ching, and even closer to the center are the 4 directions, each illuminated by the energy of lightning. The spinning triangle is at this moment pointed upward. See if I can... No, it was as good as it was. Towards the divine, and the China symbol of yin and yang, male and female, creative and receptive, lies at the center. It has often been said that the only unchanging thing in the world is change itself. Life is continuously changing, evolving, dying, and being reborn. All opposites play a part in this vast circular pattern. If you cling to the edge of the wheel, you can get dizzy. Move towards the center of the cyclone and relax, knowing that this too will pass. So this is kind of what I said. Instead of being anxious and want things to be solved now and this person to change right now and stop being so childish and avoidant, you need to put yourself into the center here. Work together with the divine. Accept the situation as it is. And by the divine timing, it will change eventually. Life repeats itself mindlessly unless you become mindful. It will go on repeating like a wheel. That's why Buddhists call it the wheel of life and death, the wheel of time. It moves like a wheel. Birth is followed by death. Death is followed by birth. Love is followed by hate. Hate is followed by love. Success is followed by failure. Failure is followed by success. Just see. If you can watch just for a few days, you will see a pattern emerging, a wheel pattern. One day, a fine morning, you are feeling so good and so happy, and another day you are so dull, so dead, that you start thinking of committing suicide. And just the other day, you were so full of life, so blissful, that you were feeling thankful to God, that you were in a mood of deep gratefulness, and today there is great complaint, and you don't see why one should go on living. And it goes on, but you don't see the pattern. Once you see the pattern, you get out of it. But I think the better suggestion is to get into it, okay? Put yourself in the center. If you clean out your inner space, become okay with whatever is. Whatever you resist, persist. Don't resist it. Say, I accept that this person is avoiding me. I accept that this person is childish and doesn't want to talk with me. I accept, I accept, I accept, I accept. And that is putting you more and more into the center where you can accept things as it is. And that makes also you putting more attention on the inside of you. So you can make your inside into a home. You stay with whatever pain or residue of pain that's there, and clean out your inner space. Then you will have inner peace in all situation, and you won't be this anxious and want things to be different, and it's like you want this person to change so you can get together again, and things can be different this time. But this is going to happen eventually, but we don't know if it's going to be in this lifetime or, next lifetime or another lifetime. So instead of being anxiously waiting, make the best of the situation and fulfill your own life. Make your own life worth living. You can, if you can't be a teacher to this person that you have this strong connection with, you can be a teacher to others while you wait, okay? And if this significant person returns, then you can, then you have more experience also to help them for real, okay? So, Sacred Rebel Oracle card with Elena Fairchild for my dear Aries, mid-month June touch up, see what's going on. Okay. Oh, okay. Sacred Fool. I almost chopped the card in pieces. 40. Sacred Fool. Yes, we have the Fool card, number 22 in Tarot. 2 plus 2 is 4. 4 is Aries, Emperor. It's also 13, 1 plus 3 is 4. Death is 4. 13 is death. 41, 44 here. No, 40, sorry. Sacred Fool. The Fool is a great rebel, able to thwart convention and tell the truth without restraint. Your heart is a wonderful, powerful, sacred fool. It cares not for the right way to do things. It cares not for what the mind says is real and not real. It lives according to an inner wisdom that cannot be dictated or to or controlled by anything. It loves, it lives, and it is what it is. So this is your live spirit, Aries, the things that I didn't want you to control. You need to let yourself be the child in all this situation, but the awakened child, okay? Not the childish child, but the child that's, you act, you speak, okay? Accordingly, what is your truth on the inside, okay? It doesn't have to be the truth, but it is what needs to be expressed in this right moment to get perfect synchronicity. So you're working together with the divine when you follow your own intuition and your own instincts and your natural behavior. This oracle heralds a time now or imminent. Change is imminent card when you will feel inspired, alive, and passionate for what you can offer to the world. It says to you, don't try to be appropriate, don't try to be socially acceptable and worry about what others may think about what you are doing. Just be. If you want to wear a mad hat whilst doing so, fine. The sacred fool in you is willing to leave behind what has been because it no longer feels right to stay attached to it. The sacred fool in you trusts life completely. It would never occur to this part of you to try and outsmart life or resist its flow. It recognizes that the mind is a monkey puppet on a string. More often than not, it is cajoled into fear when it could be playful, dwelling in the radical spontaneity of life. So, the sacred fool in you urges your mind to let itself be pulled into you, joy by your heart strings, not into fear and doubt by the controlling machines of mass media. This oracle brings you a message. It's time for you to play. It's time for you to let life happen in a completely unreserved, unscripted way. The more bizarre, left of field, unexpected, and apparently ridiculous, the better. This might not feel safe or appropriate at first. This is okay. That is good, actually. It is a sign that you are breaking with your own self-imposed conventions. It is time to move beyond them now, because a bigger life adventure is calling to you. And you're kind of a little bit hesitating with that, but trust this. The unconventional you is the divine you. So just be who you are, and things will start to move on rapidly, is what I'm feeling. So, okay, my dear Aries, I hope this helped. I want you to take really good care, and I welcome you back to my July reading that I will perform in mid-June. Okay, bye-bye.